DefSec 2022 podcast presented by Cisco. It is Cyber Wednesday here at the trade show, and I can tell you the trade show is a buzz. People are in conversation, a lot of good things happening. Business is back on the shop floor. We're so excited to see it. Steve, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Steve Ziff. I'm the president and CEO of Nova Power Solutions. We're a US-based company. Proud sponsors of DefSec 2022. If you go grab a water bottle, you'll see our logo on it. So we're happy to be part of this great show and great to be back. Missed the last couple years due to the pandemic, but I think this is around our 5th or 6th time being here, and it's always great to be in Halifax. And as you said, we just spent a little time walking around, and it's great. It's packed. There's a lot of good conversations going on already. Just the first day.
Steve, what part of the U.S.?
I'm based in Northern Virginia, just outside D.C. That's where our company is headquartered. Our manufacturing facility is in the Southern California area, so we manufacture everything in the U.S.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything manufactured in the U.S., headquartered in the U.S. Tell us a little bit about the company, what it is, what you do, and why we should pay attention.
Sure. We are a manufacturer of rugged power conditioners. Been around for about 35 years. Originated supporting really the U.S. military and predominantly the U.S. Navy, but we've expanded over the years. We do a lot of business in Canada, do a lot of business in other countries as well, through Europe, through Asia. So it's a small niche business, but it's a very important one. What we do is we ensure that the mission critical electronics aboard a ship or really anywhere get the type of power that they need to perform their function and to perform the mission, to make sure that the mission is successful, to make sure that the very expensive critical equipment lasts as long as it should, because one of the things that a lot of people aren't aware of is that one of the main causes of failure for any type of electronics is power related. Okay, so if you're not getting, imagine if you think of a home environment, your very expensive QLED TV isn't going to do great if you're getting consistently bad power to it and you're not protecting it in some means. It may die after a year or two after all the money is spent, or you'll be watching it and the quality of the picture isn't as great as it should be. Mm-hmm. Translate that to important critical radar, missile, guidance, communication type systems, and if you have temporary issues due to power, you could really impact lives and impact the mission.
Steve, you're talking about like surges and drops, or I don't know the
Correct.
terminology.
There's 14 power anomalies. There's surges,
14?
There's drops, there's shifts in current, there's complete power losses, and a bunch of others. People tend to think of power in terms of the couple of things you just mentioned, right? Maybe a surge, a drop, or a loss,
right.
Where you need backup power, mm-hmm. or you need some kind of protection. Well, there's so much more than that can affect the critical systems that it really requires technology that can address all of those issues. So, we have our technology that it's often referred to as a UPS, uninterruptible power supply.
Right.
Unfortunately, the connotation there tends to be, oh, it just sits there and when the power goes out, the batteries kick in and it operates. And yes, there are some commercial products that do that, and imagine in an environment where you have power loss, you do need some kind of power to continue to operate your systems. But when you're in a shipboard environment, the power is typically coming from a generator.
Right.
The generator is not the cleanest power, it's not the most consistent power,
mm-hmm.
it's not the most reliable power. It is power, it's providing power to the equipment, but it's not giving it exactly what it needs to ensure that the systems will operate in the manner that they were designed.
Yeah. Power is vital. On a warship, power is vital.
Yeah.
I've had the misfortune of being on a ship during a full power outage, and it is not a fun experience. It's vital stuff that you're doing. So in the room here, who are you trying to do business with predominantly? Is it the shipyards or more than that?
Yeah, great question. So while our end customers tend to be the military, mm-hmm. really, as you described it, sometimes it's the shipyard, sometimes it's the system integrators.
Right.
The people that are designing the systems that are going to go on the ship, whether it's a new ship build or whether it's a retrofit of certain, or we're going to pull this piece out and put something else in, as they're specifying the requirements for that system, we work with them to provide a customized solution that's perfect for what their needs are.
Right.
So we're talking to equipment manufacturers. So if someone is making a radar system, we want to make sure that we're talking to them about having the power layer potentially be us.
Right.
Talking to an integrator who's integrating all the components, we want to make sure that they're aware. And if we're talking to the shipyard, who's really, the boundaries of a shipyard vary build to build. Sometimes they may outsource everything to the different integrators, and other times they're taking some pieces to themselves. So we really want to make sure we're talking to all of those different folks.
So Canada's in the middle of this big ship procurement strategy, and we're going to be building a lot of ships over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and then there's a whole cycle of maintaining them and the like. So we've got a long runway here for sure. What experiences have you had, as Nova Power had, in this exact scenario, building ships for a country?
Yeah, perfect example. I could look to my colleague who's just off camera, who is from Turkey, who spent many years in the Turkish Navy as a captain, and 9 years ago we made a strategic decision to invest in that market because they were in that exact same situation. They were looking to build a significant number of ships, and from what we had seen in the past, they didn't really have some competitive products in there, and we thought it was a great opportunity to penetrate that market. So fast forward 9 years, and our products are on board every single Turkish naval vessel, Coast Guard, any type of ship, surface and submarines. We have had success in Canada through some of the integrators in the past, so we're excited about the uptick of new builds, since we do have, some footprint. I wouldn't say it's the strongest footprint, but we're going to hope to leverage that as Canada goes down that path.
That's fantastic. What would you say, and there'll be people listening now with great attention to this, what would you say your ultimate value proposition is?
The reliability of our systems is unmatched. People ask us for statistics around mean time to failure, things like that. The easiest thing I can say is, I think I got an email the other day about a customer looking to send a unit in for repair, and we had to dig really deep and found that it was like 22 years old. So that's just a testament to how long our products last. We build them with the desire for them to last a long time, so that we aren't having to just constantly, our customers aren't having to constantly just reorder because, it lasted 2 years, it lasted 3 years, it lasted a year. They're lasting 10, 15, 20 years, which is detrimental to future sales, but it's actually good from a business perspective because it shows that the reliability of our products is top notch. It's unmatched in the market, and we stand by that and our commitment. And then secondarily, our customer service and support is also unmatched. We will, if there is an issue or if there's a question, we're available real time to help support our customers.
I've got a question related to solar power.
Yeah.
In the operating environments that you provide your solutions to, is solar power even a thing?
Absolutely. In addition to a marine environment, really where we talk about our products being effective is in any kind of harsh environment.
Right.
So if you have a data center that's got great connection to grid power, you're not worried about those power anomalies.
Right.
So we don't even try to play in that space. So remote locations where you might have satellite ground stations or sensors or things like that need power, we really don't care what the power source is.
Right.
It can be a diesel generator. It can be the electric grid. It just might not be as reliable, especially if you're in a very remote area. It could be solar. It could be wind. It could be anything. As long as that power sort of enters the equation then we can essentially, we can clean it, we can condition it, we can manage it, and then we can send it out to the system. So it really doesn't matter to us what that initial power source is.
You summed it up perfectly, right? Yeah. Clean it, condition it, manage it, right?
Exactly.
Keep the lights on.
That's right.
Absolutely. So I got to tell you, this has been, go ahead, Jerry.
Well, on that note, he brings up lights. I'm looking at you, Steve. You're a very impressive individual, very articulate. When you were a teenager, did you look at a light bulb differently?
No. You know, the weird thing is, if you would have told me at this point I would be, you know, in this line of business, I would have never imagined it. It's just interesting how you sort of land in certain places and the things that you become interested and passionate about. Right. And yeah, I think I have a lot of. I grew up in Buffalo, so I was grew up almost in Canada. Right? We were a suburb of Canada. I played a lot of hockey. Kids all played hockey. So
Sabres need a bit of work, eh?
Sabres need a little bit of work. I'm a Caps fan now. We got our cup, so I'm happy about that. But no, so yeah, electrical engineering background, so there's a little bit of that. But no, it just weird how the wind steers you in certain directions and you end up here. I've been here for almost 12 years, so it's a great company, great business, and we're hoping for a lot of good conversations during the show.
Well, I wish you all the best in the show. It sounds like you've got a great product. You're in conversation with the right people at the right time. Canada is building ships, and we're going to build them fast, and they need stable power. There's no doubt about it. You can't be out there and you can't be concerned about surges and all of those 13 other things that could go wrong. Can't be concerned about that when you're out on the battlefield or even in the harsh ocean that we have just off our coast. Incredible work that you're doing. We wish you all the best.
Appreciate the time.
Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Yep.